over the weekend, I believe the DOJ released this interview that Trump's personal lawyer conducted with Ghislaine Maxwell while she was still in the previous maximum security jail she was in Florida. To do what? We're not sure. But it's pretty sure now that we've got the transcripts and the tape of it, that her no longer being in the maximum security prison probably has to do with her saying this about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
He was a gentleman in all respects. I never saw him. And she also said that he was never on the island. It went on and on like this. What's funny, I mean, this is just, number one, I mean, he wasn't trying to sleep with you, is my response, number one. And also you're lying. So this is what she was saying. Again, this is someone who got 20 years for sex trafficking, someone whose victims are still saying that actually Epstein was bad, but Ghislaine Maxwell was far scarier than he ever was. And interestingly, Virginia Giuffre, who has since passed, I believe she did commit suicide, yes, but her memoir is coming out very imminently, which I think is going to be incredible. And I think a really good refocus on the actual victims here. But anyway, after saying this, that Donald Trump was a perfect gentleman, I didn't see him doing anything wrong. She's now at Club Fed, as they call it, minimum security prison. There's like a sports field. There's plenty of outdoor time. There's no like, razor wire or anything like this over in Texas. And apparently locals are not too happy. But this is somehow, Peter, what's supposed to allay MAGA fears, which is also really funny because I thought she was going to say something about Clinton, and she does. But what she says about Clinton was that she worked with him in a philanthropic capacity, and that there was nothing untoward between Clinton, and he was never a client. In fact, she said the other things, Epstein never blackmailed people. There was no client list. And Epstein didn't kill himself. So, for anyone who was a conspiracy theorist, specifically MAGA.
I have so many thoughts. First, just the audacity of this convicted sex trafficker, convicted sexual abuser, of daring to even claim to be an arbiter of what is and isn't acceptable or untoward behavior is batshit. Right off the bat, that's insane.
Right.
If you are a convicted sex trafficker and a convicted abuser, clearly you think certain behaviors are acceptable. So I don't know
super normal.
How she's even in any way clearing up things for Trump. Two, in listening to that tape, Donald Trump must just be thanking his lucky stars that Ghislaine Maxwell is a woman. And the reason why I say that is because I think her gender actually protects him in a weird way. Because if Ghislaine were a man and Jeffrey Epstein and her were in a same-sex relationship, we wouldn't paper over the fact that she was a violent, monstrous human. I think in a weird way, misogyny, it's rearing its ugly head in a way that helps him because we don't view her as a violent, monstrous
helps him
rapist.
And helps her. Also her super posh accent that I mistake for an Australian accent. But no, 100%. I mean, it's the same blind spot that they have with, male victims of, for sexual assault.
Yes.
It's the same blind spot they had to trans men existing. Like trans men are just like, whatever. They don't care, right? They are really fixated on trans women specifically. And it's the same blind spot. It's like, women can't actually be abusers or traffickers. What are you talking about? So like suddenly she doesn't seem as dangerous to them. And yeah, they can't make as big of a stink about it. But this is, go ahead.
Sorry, I will say, just as a quick aside, I do love that we as a society have all collectively agreed to not give this woman the modicum of respect in learning how to actually pronounce her name.
Yes.
I've heard it pronounced Ghislaine, Ghislaine, Like, no one knows what her name is. No one knows.
It's the sound that, Epstein made when she was choking him. No, look, what's funny about what she's saying, number one, I don't believe a fucking word that comes out of her mouth. No. Like I said, but even if she was correct, like even if what Trump wants to happen, what the DOJ wants to happen is for the MAGA base to listen to this and believe it. Well, number one, she didn't give the goods on Clinton. So the MAGA base is immediately like, what do you mean he wasn't involved in anything? Yeah. Like, we know he was. They want that, which again, for you and I and anyone listening to the podcast, we're like, sure, let's.
We don't care. Your terms are acceptable. I tweeted that over the weekend. MAGA's like, ooh, Dems got to stop talking about the Epstein files. They might destroy the Clintons. I tweet out into the largest microphone ever constructed. Your terms are acceptable. We don't give a shit about the Clintons because we're not a fucking cult.
We've been trying to destroy the Clintons for decades now. And the Clinton legacy will not die. So please help us destroy the Clintons. And she didn't even do that. And so that's the thing, is that like they're in this sort of catch-22. They don't know what to do. But even if we were like, let's say everything was like, yes, there was, he committed suicide. There was no client list, which is totally fine. They'll never believe that. That's what's so crazy about like, the conspiracy theories and who you lift up and the Dan Bonginos and the Kash Patels. The one thing they'll never believe, however, is that Trump, and this is perfectly proven, was best friends for 10 years with this guy, a known sex trafficker, said he liked women on the younger side, openly like shared girlfriends, as we know, preyed on the same women together. And there's like plenty, you can't even, victims or not, there's just people who've testified to this. Yep. So, and then of course the birthday card that we always forget. But may every day be a wonderful secret, Peter. And I don't think we should let this go. You have Summer Lee and many other House Democrats have been pushing to get all of the Epstein files released. They subpoenaed for them. And in fact, some of them are now being released. But according to Summer Lee, they've been severely redacted. There's no new information, on and on and on. And so, again, back to your point, I think we should very much refocus on like the actual crime, like the victims, what these people did, But I also just think it is a great Achilles heel for this regime. It's just a bright spot in a whole lot of
No, Summer Lee's doing a great job. Rep. Ro Khanna has done an excellent job. Krishnamurthy, pretty much all the Dems in the Oversight Committee have done a phenomenal job with this. My only concern, and I wrote this in a piece for The Guardian a couple of weeks back, is I don't want them to fall into the Rudy Giuliani trap. And what I mean by that is that in 2007, far sharper, far more spry, Joe Biden just eviscerated, pretty much destroyed Rudy Giuliani's career when he said that there are only 3 aspects to a sentence that comes out of Rudy Giuliani's mouth: a noun, a verb, and 9/11. And it was lethal because 1, it was funny, and 2, it was true. The man totally just weaponized this national tragedy for his own political aspirations, political ambitions. And so my concern for Democrats is they can't fall into the trap. It can't just be noun, verb, Jeffrey Epstein. It's got to be more. It's got to be noun, verb, Jeffrey Epstein, and just Trump protects elites. He cares about the rich. He's cutting your Medicaid. Yes. Trump only cares about the oligarchs. He's fucking over Joe and Josephine Six-Pack. That's what it needs to be, 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.